Welcome to the Not Nerd Show. I'm Nate Heath, and we are here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, Mr. Dave Baylor.
Hello, sir. I salute you.
Salute you.
And in case I forget, look at my nice little presidential screens back there with Kamala.
Yeah, we might as well, to start
Donald.
the show off, let everybody know that we are the most non-partisan tech podcast on the internet. Many of those tech podcasts probably just canceled tonight so they could talk election coverage and all that stuff. Not us.
Not us. Hey, and Todd, if you ever come on, please let me know if my sound effects are too loud. I boosted everything. I moved my mic. It's right here now, so we can do some ASMR type stuff. Yes. Welcome to the Not Nerd Show. He says,
producer Todd,
politics free zone.
Hashtag politics free zone.
So we decided instead of politics, we're going to talk about religion tonight.
Yes.
Another thing that's not polarizing at all.
Well, I do have a hat, and I'm glad I gave our disclaimer.
Yeah. Make the internet great again. Let's see what it is.
I am coming out in support of Reagan Bush 84.
1984, the year the Macintosh was released.
Yes, that's
and many
Apple
other things.
Related. Yeah,
very fun.
This was I bought this in the last several years off eBay, and it had a good retro look. I did look up the results of the 84 election.
Yeah,
and that was the year that Reagan
won.
Mondale took Minnesota and DC, and Reagan took everything else, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah,
it was a different time, to say the least.
One for the record books.
Yes.
And you and I, and thanks to a pro tip of the week coming up, you can watch stuff real time on your...
You don't need audio on that. You need audio from Not Nerd, and I mean, nothing's going to happen until we're done with the show anyways.
Yeah.
So
when the West Coast, the best coast comes online, we'll see how we vote.
Yes.
So
I did want to start off.
I should switch back to both of us.
I did want to start off by actually being on the show tonight.
Okay.
So last week we talked about the new iMacs and the new M4 Mac Minis. Well, just as we predicted, Wednesday they did release the new M4 Macbook Pros. They're faster. You can, on the higher capacity ones, you can get the nano texture display that's better in glare, better webcam, I guess.
Yeah.
But
better everything.
Yes.
It's a little pro tip. I am a fan, and many people may not be, but I'm a fan of the screen, I should learn to talk. The paper-like matte screen covers that you can get. You can get them very thin, or you can get them very thick. You can get them plastic. You can get them glass. So the nano-textured look and feel can be accomplished on both your computer and on your iPad and your iPhone for less money than buying one of those. So, like, for example, on my, I see how the glare is mitigated, except for where it's not. See the difference? So I really appreciate the matte look and feel, but maybe not everybody does.
Yeah, but the new MacBook Pros. Now, since producer Todd is in the chat, I will mention, and I mentioned to him offline, I believe, but he's interested in a new MacBook Air. Mm-hmm. Well, they currently have the M3 MacBook Airs, and they didn't release an M4 one, but they did up the base RAM memory at 16 gigabytes instead of 8 gigabytes, which is a nice improvement at the same price. I think those start at $1,000, that you can get them on sale, a couple $100 off. But there is a rumor that they will still release an M4 model in the spring. But
and for work, I went today. That's driveway cam, but there is some action going on out there. I went to the bottom of the page. I went to refurbished.
Oh yeah.
I clicked on Mac, and I clicked on MacBook Air, and then I clicked on 15-inch, and then I clicked on. This is getting boring for people, I'm sure. Why, why, why can't? What happened? Why can't I? There we go. Then I clicked on 512, and then I clicked on 16, and then I clicked on 2024, and it brought me finally, for those of you listening on the
Yeah.
audio, it finally brought me to a page where you could buy for $1,300, which is a great deal, a refurbished 15-inch MacBook Air with the M3 chip.
Oh yeah, the larger screen. I keep forgetting they have the two different screens on the Air now with the larger one.
And look at this, 16 gig and the 512 SSD, which I personally believe is the sweet spot. You're spending a lot of money for the 1 terabyte, and if you get the 256, forget about it. And regarding the RAM, it's now unified, and so 8 gig is usually fine for most people, but if you're doing video or audio and stuff, that 16 gig, it really helps a lot.
Yeah.
So
yes,
there you go.
So,
I bought one of those for a coworker, so that was fun.
Nice. Yeah. So that's the new MacBook Pros. And also, I just wanted to bring up, we are currently at November 5th.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of early Black Friday sale emails I'm getting in every website. I was canceling a couple subscriptions and things today. And it was actually, pro tip, when your credit card expires,
Yeah.
and they give you a new one, it's a good time to kind of review all those things that just come out. Like, I have a lot of website plugins and that kind of stuff that it'll charge you like once a year. And I'm like, oh, wait, I'm not even using that one anymore.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. For example, with your Black Friday, I'm in the market for one of these things. This Bamboo Lab has had Black Friday for like a month. They're like, hey, come get Black Friday deals. I'm like, what? Isn't that like after Thanksgiving or whatever?
yeah. And producer Todd, Dave's keyboard is the third host of Not Nerd.
I know. I've been hitting it. So here's I probably could do a side camera angle here. The problem is I moved the mic closer, but I also have a keyboard right here, and I chose to get a clicky keyboard. So maybe I need to use a different keyboard when I do the show. I don't know, but it's hard to put the mic by my face without the keyboard also
being like a sound deadener in between.
So here, maybe I put it on my lap. Maybe that'll work.
Oh, there you go. There you go. But yeah, Black Friday is coming up, and there will be, I'm sure, better deals on stuff if there's something specific you're looking for. So that's coming up. But for main topic today, I decided that we would talk as far as from politics as we could. So we talked, was that 2 weeks ago? We talked about how my iPad Pro just completely bellied up and would not turn on.
Yeah,
no,
it's
nothing.
a tragedy.
Dave tried as hard as he could. The Apple Store said, our tests say this is never turned back on. So I was in the market for a new iPad, and I went back and forth, and I was going to buy the new M4 iPad Pro. And Amazon had it on sale, but by the time I pulled the trigger, it was going to be like a month and blah, 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 blah. So I wanted to talk a little bit just about the state of iPads and the different models. And I put a link in the show notes to the where I spent a lot of time in the last couple of weeks. But Apple has a very good comparison chart between different iPads. And I guess I should tell you that what I decided to go with, and I remember on the podcast saying, well, when these came out, I was like, well, I've got an iPad Pro, but for most people, the iPad Air would probably be a great option.
Yes, and that looks like a new device.
Yes.
And is it the Starlight color, or is that silver?
That is the space gray. They all look very similar. I made the mistake of showing Isla the colors, but all they had was space gray. So this is the M2 iPad Air 11-inch, which came out this year, earlier this year. So decently new. And I was thinking, do I just get the regular iPad? Do I get the Air? Do I get the Pro? I was looking at this comparison chart, and one of the things that got me was considering price. And Amazon had the Air. I think the iPad Pro starts at $9.99
Yeah.
at Apple. Amazon had it for $8.99. That was the
Okay.
one that was going to take a month. The
Ooh.
iPad Air was also $100 off, from $5.99 down to $4.99.
Oh, wow. That's a steal.
Yes. And then the iPad 10th generation, after looking at that, I just didn't think that was the best option. But a few things coming from an iPad Pro. So instead of Face ID on the iPad Pro, which I never really liked because I usually hold my iPad like this and had my finger over the camera and I had to move that to unlock it, this has the Touch ID in the power button,
Right.
for lack of a better term, where you just rest it there. So I do like that. This model, as opposed to my old model, this is the first one where they moved the camera to the long edge
Right.
from the short edge, which is very nice.
The 10th generation also does that. It's got the camera here, and it also has the touch sensor. So now I'm thinking, what does the Air have that the regular one doesn't have?
Yes. And then I was going to another little pro tip. So they had the Air for $4.99 on Amazon, but it was going to take like a week or something. I checked Best Buy. They had it for $5.49, but they price match. And we have a Best Buy just down the street from us.
That's nice.
Best Buy, they were very good about it. I just pulled it up on my phone and they marked it down to $4.99. So thank you, Best Buy, for that. But the 10th generation, as I was scrolling down the thing, the Pro has a little bit better screen, but Dave, as you and I talked about offline, I don't use it enough for that.
I mean, it's one of those things, if you have to have color accuracy to do like website development or you're a photographer, it's worth it. But for everybody else, the other screens are so good. I mean, they're better than your TV. They're going to look better than your computer monitor. So
so the Air is very similar to the M4 iPad Pro. Obviously, the chip's a couple generations behind. The new iPad Pro is the super thin one, which would be kind of cool. But again, it's not going to make a big difference for me.
Well, and
the reason why I didn't go with the 10th generation was exactly what you got there, the Apple Intelligence. Now, will I use it a ton? I don't know, but having that available in the future, if I'm going to keep this for several years.
It's one of those things you're going to want to have in it. If you're buying something new and you're going to have it for several years, you might as well get it so that when 3 years from now something cool comes out, you won't be going, oh, I can't use it on my device. I have to buy another device.
Yes.
So it's kind of a bet, but it's a good bet to get one that supports it.
Yes. And the iPad has 2 cameras, I believe, on the back and other extra stuff where this just has one. But the amount of times that I've taken a picture with my iPad, I should look that up someday and see how many total photos I've taken with my iPad.
I've taken about 6, I think, in my life.
It doesn't have the Thunderbolt on the Air versus the Pro, but again, unless you're doing massive file transfers, that is not going to make much of a difference. I do like the Touch ID better. It doesn't have the 4-speaker audio and the 4 studio quality microphones. It has 2 of each. Again, the amount of times that I would need 4-speaker audio on my iPad.
Well, what it's for is when you're listening to something in portrait, it comes from the left and right. And when you're doing it in landscape, it comes from the left and right. If you have just the 2 speakers, when you're in portrait mode, one's coming from the top and one's coming from the bottom.
Yes.
But who watches a movie like this? Some animal.
Yes. As far as the Apple Pencil goes, they both support, and I'm just leaving the 10th generation one out of this, but it supports the new Apple Pencil Pro and the Apple Pencil, which, Dave, you also know that on the same iPad where my iPad went kaput, my Apple Pencil, I got it and I was like, oh, I'm going to hook it up to my new iPad.
Yeah.
Also seems to be completely kaput, which brings me back to somebody did an EMP on my backpack and wiped out the whole thing.
Wait a
But
minute. When you had your appendix problem, did the guys come in with the big paddles
no,
and
I did not take.
resuscitate you?
I did not take. I didn't take the backpack. No, I didn't take my
Okay.
iPad there.
You didn't stick it in an
That
MRI
would have
machine.
been because we were trying to think of what in the world could have caused so many devices to fail, but who knows what that is. But I did get the base model at 128 gigabytes. That's going to be a pinch at times on the iPad, but again, I'm not really. I can make that work. I can remove a bunch of apps. The amount of things I do on my iPad are slim, so I was willing to save the couple $100 or whatever from doubling that up. But yeah, that's kind of the state of it. I mean, the base model iPad 10th generation, it's now 2 years old. There should be a new one in the spring. I was just looking at rumors today.
Yeah.
The colored, fun, cheaper one. So in the spring, if I was looking for one, I would probably consider that after they upgrade it. But I would be now. You have the iPad Pro 13-inch, correct?
Yeah. We got some
Oh,
activity out there. It's distracting me.
lights
The guy's
and
airing up his
tires.
tire, I think, with
Oh,
a
nice.
flashlight. Anyway,
Enhance.
I could zoom in, but it would just look terrible. I have the 12.9 inch or 13 inch 6th generation iPad Pro, and the one that came out this year is the 7th generation. So
Okay.
it was an open box Best Buy
Yeah.
last year's model, which at the time was like 3 days old because I bought it right after the new one came out. So last year's, meaning the week prior, it was the new one.
Yeah.
And it's still under the 1 year warranty because it
nice.
activated when I purchased it. So
Very cool.
yeah.
That's very nice. But yeah, if you ever have questions on the iPads, let us know because yeah, we do have a lot of experience with them.
Got a lot
And
of them laying around.
Yeah, piles. I actually do have a pile of dead, well, not dead iPods, locked iPads from a client that
Yeah.
people put their personal iCloud accounts on, and there's no way to get them back.
I wish they'd expire like after 5 years or something. They'd
Yeah.
just open up.
Yes. But yeah, iPads, there's some good options. There's a lot of great use cases for them. Some people use them as a full-on computer. I know you have pretty much done that at
Yeah.
times, Dave, where
I
especially
have.
if you get the Apple keyboard and trackpad.
What is going on in my neighborhood? There's
Oh my
so much
goodness.
activity. There's people walking. There were children. It's not Halloween again, is it? I don't think it is.
Yeah, it's second Halloween.
Yeah. Everybody knows that holiday.
Didn't get the memo. You're on the HOA.
Yeah.
Get those people inside.
There's a
but yeah,
curfew, people.
yes. Yeah, I thought it'd be good just to kind of talk through what the iPads look like. And for me, I was ready to pull the trigger on the M4 iPad Pro, but when I really slowed down, I was like, I don't think I need all of that iPad. And so I saved what, $300-400
Yeah.
by going with the Air. So
Very worth it. And I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I think it's going to be
oh,
great.
one other thing, this is my first iPad with this, which I think is the dumbest thing ever. The dynamic volume controls, Dave, are you familiar with this?
Yeah, when you change the orientation,
When
it
you're
changes.
sitting like this is volume up and this is volume down.
Yeah.
Like it's always been on iPad. If you're like this, they switch. I hate it. I was looking it up online. There used to be a way that you could turn it off. They've removed that now. You can't turn it off because I'm used to whichever direction the top button should be volume up.
Mhm.
I had forgotten that existed, and
Yeah.
I was just like, what in the world is going on here?
Well, Kindle devices have had that for a long time, where
Mm.
like my 10-inch Kindle Fire thing up there that does nothing but show me my driveway cam. I'm going to trade it in, I think. But anyway, that's the way the volume works on those. And so when Apple did it, had been around forever, but I'm not sure it was a good move. So
Yeah.
clearly you do not think it is.
I don't know. I mean, I'll get used to it and I probably won't need it that often, but it's just like, what? You always talk about contextual menus.
Oh,
These
yeah.
are contextual buttons.
Yes.
physical buttons that change depending on how you hold your iPad.
Why do people think this is such a good idea?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk to Tim Apple about that one because that is just wild. But you know what else is wild?
What's that?
Dave's pro tip of the week.
It is wild. And as I talked about before, we're going to get right into it. The pro tip is...
Spoiler alert, election results on the screen.
Yeah, we still got 3 or 4 hours left, but that's who's there now. So ignore the numbers. But what I want to direct your attention to is where it says no surprises in early calls. Right beneath the calls button, there's a little thing there. This is Apple News, by the way, if I didn't say that. And I believe this works whether you have Apple News or Apple News Plus, or you subscribe or don't subscribe. There is a little button there that says follow live. And if you follow live, it says live activity started. You'll get real-time updates on your home screen and lock screen. And if you'll also notice at the top of my screen, you can see 2 logos. One's a K-State Wildcat. The other one is, I don't know. And it shows the scores up there in my live activity. And if I touch one of them, it's going to take me to the sports app that does that. But now look at the top of the screen. There's Kamala on the left and Donald on the right with the numbers. That live activity just continues to stay there. And if I go to my lock screen now, I just want to make sure there's nothing in there. Let's see here. So on my lock screen now, it's going to show both my sports scores from Apple Sports and then my election scores right on my lock screen.
Duty.
So
have they haven't done this with the news app before, have they?
No, this is a new thing with the live activities on the news.
Yeah.
They've done it. The sports has been around for quite a while.
Yeah. I've been using the sports a lot, and the live activities are, I believe, on any phone with the dynamic
little dynamic island. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I wanted to upgrade from the 13 to the 15 is the dynamic island. Otherwise, the 13 is a really good product, but I like having those scores up at the top. I just think it's really cool.
As somebody who casually follows sports, but also doesn't currently have a way to watch live sports, like for the Blazers, for the Ducks, for the Timbers, I just have that same thing like you have, where it'll just, when the game's starting, and then I can just kind of glance down here and there and see what the scores are. And the Apple Sports app is really
good.
Great.
You pick your teams, it alerts you. It'll do those live activities if you want, where it'll live on your home screen or up in the little dynamic island. And even if you don't have the dynamic island, I think you can enjoy them on your home screen regardless. So
yes,
pretty cool.
Very cool. Nice tip. Well, that must mean it's time for everyone's favorite segment, Just the Headlines.
And of course,
if you're
there's
new to the show,
nothing outside.
Before we get to the headlines, we take a look at Dave's driveway and his Nissan Leaf glowing in the street lights out there.
Yes. And I'm always a little, I kind of feel like when I charge an electric charger, sometimes I feel like I'm stealing power because I did the thing, I plugged it in, I looked in the app, and it's like estimated cost $0. Wow. And then I get home later and I look at my checking account and I'm like, it still doesn't charge me. Like, so it's good and bad, because maybe I got the energy for free, or I'm going to get like a $50 thing out of the middle of nowhere. Then I'm like, what's going on? So hopefully that doesn't happen. But
yes.
Anyway.
Nice November evening.
Beautiful outside.
But let us get to just the headlines.
Reddit is profitable for the first time ever.
Fired employee allegedly hacked Disney World's menu system to alter peanut allergy information.
Yikes. Uranus's moon, that's how you pronounce it, Uranus moon, Miranda, may have an ocean beneath its surface.
Colorado agency improperly posted passwords for its election system online.
Come on, guys. Meta's plan for nuclear-powered AI data centers thwarted by rare bees. What?
And researchers spot black hole eating stuff at over 40 times the theoretical limit.
Yikes.
It's named Nate Heath. And those are just the headlines.
Wow, those are some good stories.
Yes, and hey, Grandma has joined us in the chat. Dave Street has settled down. I can sleep good tonight.
Nope. Here.
Oh my goodness, we got headlights, people driving on your street.
Yeah. Look at this. What's going on, people?
Phew.
It is only 7 o'clock. Oh, you know what it is? It's election night fever. Everybody's out. They're like, it's like a full moon. People are on the move. Anyway.
Yes, indeed. Well, let us move on to our takes of the week.
Yeah, what do we got lined up this week, Mr. Nate?
Well, the first one, this is notable, especially for friend of the show, Wes, because he uses this app a lot. But Apple, yes, that Apple has acquired photo editing app Pixelmator.
Yeah. And if you recall, I complained heavily when all the Serif apps were purchased by some third-party company. Those are also
Canva. Was it Canva?
Yeah, Canva bought them. Those are video and photo editing apps and desktop apps. No video, I guess. But anyway, they so far seem to have been a good steward. But this was another one that when I first saw the headline, I'm like, oh no, another independent graphic design app has been gobbled up by some company, but it was Apple. So hopefully,
So hopefully,
they'll do a good job with it.
You know who's not saying "oh no" is their bank account. I'm sure.
Yes.
But yes, based in Vilnius, Lithuania, Pixelmator has developed a suite of what I will add very well-regarded creative tools that compete with Adobe's offerings while maintaining a focus on ease of use and performance. The company's apps have been exclusively available on Apple's platforms, including Mac, iPad, and iPhone. So I think
just
they have
makes sense.
Yeah, Pixelmator, Pixelmator Pro, and then Photomator, which I think I've purchased all of them.
Oh, I
don't use them too often, but
I may have purchased them all twice for all I know.
Well, that too. Knowing us, that could be the case. So yeah, there's a lot of speculation about what will happen if they will just kind of roll these into the Apple Photos apps on the various devices, or if they might come out with another pro photo offering like they used to have with Aperture, which is much like Adobe's Lightroom, more of a photo management tool than just, well, I guess Photos is a photo management tool, a professional level app. But I think it might be a mix of both. I mean, Pixelmator has some really great features. It's very, and I saw several people say this, the design is very Apple-like. They were always very committed to Apple and their designs. So it'll be very interesting. It says, for current Pixelmator users, the company stated there will be no material changes to their existing apps at this time, though they teased exciting updates to come.
Ooh, what could it be? I'm so intrigued.
Yes. So,
it's just going to be integration with Apple's tools, I'm sure.
Yes.
They're probably going to build all that stuff into Apple Photos and make it one thing.
Yes, and that would be cool, as long as they don't go subscription on something with it. But
well, we shall see.
Yes,
Apple doesn't seem to be making a lot of money right now, so they might.
They're barely hanging on. Anything to make a dime,
getting by.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I didn't even. Hey, well, this might be the second time that I haven't put in Apple quarterly results. I didn't even get a chance to look into them that deep, but I did see they made 14 plus billion with a B in profit this last quarter. So they're going to stay open for at least another quarter. This next one's a follow-up to something we talked about, and I talked about with Todd on the Mark and Toddcast, and I saw this headline, and one, I almost put it in the just the headlines, but mom is texting. Teachers say parents are a daily distraction during class. So the reason I chose this is because I said this when we were talking about the other article. Parents, quit bothering your children while they're at school. They get enough of you.
Yeah, it's one chance for them to spend time with their friends, learn, which is what they're there to do,
Optional.
and not worried about mom's drama or
Yeah.
dad's. But let's be honest, it's
But
mom's drama.
I'm also just curious, like, what what do these parents have to talk to their kids about during the school day?
Now, I know I grew up in a different time, and Nate, I'm a few years older than you, but
Yes.
I don't, when I, okay, let me start again. My mom would go to work. We would get ourselves on the bus, go to school all day, come home. She was still at work sometimes. We'd start
Yeah.
dinner. She just assumed we were alive, but we could have been dead for like 12 hours. She would never know.
Yeah.
So now it's like, did you eat your lunch? Make sure you don't put peanut butter on there. It's like, come on, give the kids a break. They're
Yeah.
not dumb.
Yeah. Stay away from the peanuts. But yeah, and it says in the article, and finally, a high school teacher in Tennessee said parents not understanding the impact of their communications during school hours is disrespectful and perpetuates that disrespect in their student.
Yeah.
And then there's a chart. How often are parents guardians of your students doing the following? So this is kind of a weird thing because it's not every student, but they were asking teachers, principals, and stuff daily or several times a day. 47%.
Wow.
Never 11%. Those
I
are
don't
my
even
people.
text my wife that many times.
Yeah, yeah. But
Again, I'm just assuming she's alive at home,
yeah, it's just so there's some more stuff, but this is part of that continuing movement. More and more schools are banning smartphones,
It's
and
it should have come sooner, but I'm glad it's
yes,
here now.
yes, I agree. And next up, I didn't look into this too much because it really doesn't interest me, but OpenAI launches its Google challenger ChatGPT Search.
Didn't we all know
Uh,
this was coming?
yeah, and they had talked about, and there had been rumors and all of this stuff. So I've heard in just kind of the brief stuff I've seen in different posts that kind of mixed reviews on it. But it basically is an AI powered search,
Well,
which Google's already
yeah,
doing.
all the search engines. I use Brave a lot, and
Yeah.
I have so Brave has an AI thing. I think I use DuckDuckGo as my search engine. Every time I do a search thing, there's a chat something at the top trying to tell me what's going on. So I feel like all the search engines are already doing it. So
Yeah.
maybe Google's probably got to be shaking in their boots because this is the first time in a long time they've had any competition in the search realm.
Yes. Yeah. Because once you bring AI into it, a lot of the Google magic
Yeah.
isn't as valuable because it's what we call AI search is very similar to a Google algorithm. It's just
Mm-hmm.
other people have tools to make it a lot easier now. So it will be, I still just out of default use Google search for everything. Um, I think just because I'm used to it and I kind of know what I can expect.
Yeah.
But I think more and more people are moving away from it. Is Bing still the default on
On Windows
Microsoft?
stuff, it is. Yeah. Bing's fine. DuckDuckGo's fine. Brave search is fine. The reason I choose a different one is because Google is already indexing everything about my life, and I figure I'm going to give some of my data to a competitor so that
Yes.
Google doesn't have everything. So
Yes, indeed. Well, this next one, again, would have been a great just the headline. Russian court finds Google 20 decillion with a D dollars. So that's
that's
3, 6, 9,
that's a big
12,
number.
15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33 zeros after that 20.
Does Google even have that much money?
That that is not quite. That's like more than global GDP. It's like a quadrillion more than global GDP per year.
Wow.
But basically, it all boils out of a lawsuit from Russia regarding YouTube banning some Russian influencers, which the
Come on, Russia.
sanctions and everything, it feels like that should be a thing after the invasion of Ukraine.
Well, I feel
Um,
like U.S. companies, they just need to tell the rest of the world sometimes to take a long walk off a short pier, because the world needs like Google more than Google needs the world. You know what
yes.
I'm saying? So there you
Yes,
go.
and the way that they calculated their fine, the Russian court against Google imposed a fine of 100,000 rubles, which is about $1,000 per day,
$6. Oh,
with the total fine doubling every week,
ah,
owing to compound interest. Einstein's eighth wonder of the world. Google is now on the hook for an insane amount of money, or what the judge on Monday called a case in which there are many, many zeros.
and to be clear, Einstein did not invent
No.
compound interest. He just said it's the eighth wonder of the world.
Yes. Yes.
They
But
could have been more clear on that.
yes, the register here. But
There is a link.
I don't see this lawsuit going too far, especially at that rate. But having 33 zeros after a 20, that is much more.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, put that in perspective. The World Bank estimates global GDP as around 100 trillion, which is peanuts compared to the prospective fine. So you've got to get a lot more zeros between trillion and decillion. But I did want to make sure I was able to say decillion on the podcast.
Isn't that isn't that where you can get some good food? The decillion. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, maybe that's Sicilian. Maybe
decillion cuisine.
And I'm getting my pick of the week out, because we're going to be seeing that number trillion again soon.
Oh, in our last take of the week, there is a new Call of Duty that came out, and Comcast released some staggering information that it was the peak internet usage, and a whopping 19% of Comcast's total internet traffic when it released on October 25th was all for Call of Duty Black Ops. So you think about every Comcast internet customer, you think about all of the things people are doing on the internet, businesses, everything. A fifth of that was all for Call of Duty.
Well, I'm on my Xbox here, which I have going.
Are you going to download Call of Duty? That'll help the stream. Producer Todd says, weird, we had that Russia sues Google story on our show, and that article said it was a number with 36, not 34 zeros, and called that number decillion. Wow.
Decillion.
Number controversies.
I could buy this game for $70 is what I was going to...
$70.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing that. But...
And it says ranging between 84.4 gigabytes for the PlayStation version and 102 gigabytes for the PC edition of Black Ops. It's a hefty download. It can be as much as 300 gigabytes with a G if players choose to go ahead and download Modern Warfare 2 and 3 and all the associated content packs and languages. And there is a little irony here, because the next paragraph, Comcast bragging about its gigantic network traffic weekend in this way really underscores, if you scratch the surface a tad, just how restrictive its 1.2 terabyte data cap can be in 2024. They lifted it during the COVID pandemic, but if you've been around the podcast for many years, you'll remember I had Comcast and went over my data cap a couple times. So I switched to Ziply Fiber, which, if it's available in your area, it is a great deal. And I can send you an affiliate link to save $50 your first month. But yeah, the fact that they have a 1.2 terabyte data cap in 2024 is ridiculous.
I switched over to Driveway Cam because my camera decided to die for some reason. There it's back. I think it must have overheated. Sometimes it can do that. Anyway,
Yeah, get a little
crisis
cooling fan on that.
crisis averted, but there's more activity.
Woohoo!
It's the evening shuffling of vehicles in the
Vehicle.
neighborhood so that we can ensure that we park in front of our house, because if it's across the street and down 20 feet, someone might steal it.
Yes.
Some meth head might break in, if it's not
Yeah.
exactly right in front of your house. So you can hear the sarcasm in my voice.
Yes, yes. Well, with that sarcasm, we'll move on to our bonus odd take of the week. And this is one I found, again, as most of them, following Kotkey. A pro tip for the listener: don't follow kotkey.org or you'll get spoiler alerts on all our bonus odd takes, because a good portion of them do come from Kotkey. He posts
Well,
some fun and interesting stuff over there.
we don't want to gatekeep anybody. If you want to go there, it's okay. Just realize it could be a repeat on the show.
Yes, but this is from the NIH.gov, bioart.niaid.nih.gov, the bioart source. Build figures, presentations, and illustrations with 2,000 plus science and medical art visuals. This collection of free, high quality vectors, icons, and brushes have been created by professional illustrators.
And you can use them for free.
Yes. Oh,
So
they have people, arthropods.
I'm
Look at
very
that.
familiar with this critter. It's called a prairie dog. Many of them lived where I came from in Kansas. Did you know that the prairie dogs have their own language, and they can even communicate with each other about what color of clothing you're wearing? To be like, the guy in the red coat is coming. I don't know
Wow.
how they know this, but they can communicate colors to one another. Isn't that pretty crazy?
Yes.
Fun fact.
I'm scrolling through the human section from the main link there, and they just have, there's a ton of stuff that you wouldn't necessarily need to be in the medical or science field to use here, but
Hmm.
yeah, very, very interesting, and a resource from our government, which means we probably paid some taxes for this to be created. So you should probably go and use it. But I'll have to show Isla the animals. That's a whole
Yeah.
protein section,
Let me
arthropods.
go back a page here. There's get out of the
Oh,
animals.
there's even more categories.
They're pretty simplistic type
Yes.
illustrations, but
But again,
they'll
for a
work in a pinch.
presentation, or if you're doing, a website or a project or something, this would be very helpful. And hey, Grandma says, assuming Russia isn't expecting that money anytime soon,
Right.
no, I think it would take close to eternity to pay that. And it said, are you frozen or is it just me? I think it might
Oh,
just be you. It looks like everything's good on our
seems
side.
like we're going. Um, yeah. Where else can you find a good high quality illustration of a mitochondria?
Yeah, you might
Nowhere.
need that.
This is it.
This is it. So check out that link in the show notes. You know what other links you should check out? Our picks of the week. There we go.
So you can never have too much air horn. So you guys might remember me talking about my PlayDate. This isn't me going with Nate and
Yeah,
to like a
we do
restaurant
those
and
as well, but
to
this is
yeah.
a different.
This is the name of a product from the company named Panic. It's called the PlayDate right here, and this is the little cranky type
Yeah.
product. Well, this has been a pick before, but what I'm going to choose now is the game, and the game is called Crank That Clicker, and it's a cookie clicker clone, and you can do the crank to make cogs. Once you make so many cogs, you buy things like, what does it say there? What does that top one say? I can't read it. I'll just tell you here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what it says.
Get
It
the
says
readers on.
worker costs 34 trillion cogs, a forge, a mine, a factory, and once you Congress is my favorite at the bottom. You can buy, I have 60 Congresses now, but you can buy power ups with these. There's none available because I've purchased them all because I am a pro cog player. Anyway, it's a fun little game. you don't have to have a PlayDate to play cookie clicker clones. Say that 12 times
Yes.
fast. But you do have to have a PlayDate to play this particular game. So, Nate, we spoke before. You played Cookie Clicker. Is that
Yes,
correct?
I think we might have it might have been a
Might
pick
have
of
been
the
a
week
pick.
way, way,
Yeah.
way back in the day. Because I do remember playing it, and I'm pulling it up now, so I'm going to start clicking some cookies.
I wonder if I still have my save file because,
Oh yeah, I probably have a backup of it somewhere. I'll put a link in the chat if you want to go play the original cookie clicker at
yeah.
orteal.net.org.
And here's how it works, right? There's 0 cookies. I have 0 cookies. How sad for me. But look what happens when I click. I have 1 cookie.
Yes.
And I'm making no cookies per second. Click a little bit more.
I'm going to see how loud I can click my cookies.
See over
Also,
here?
again, it's for great audio.
Now that I've had 15 cookies made, I can purchase a cursor for
Yes.
15 cookies. Now watch when I click it. Boom. I'm making 0.1 cookies per second. So every 10 seconds, I get a free cookie.
Oh, I almost have enough cookies to buy a grandma.
Oh boy. Hey, Grandma, look out. You're
Hey,
going to get
grandma, I just
purchased.
bought a grandma on Cookie
Yeah.
Clicker. Man, we
Well,
should.
not to be outdunned, not dunned, my game is very similar, but I can play it on my
And
PlayDate.
you can crank your wheel. What a physically satisfying
Yes, that's instead of
fidget.
clicking, I'm spinning. So anyway, look it up if you have a PlayDate. If you don't, look up the PlayDate at
Yeah.
play.date.
Very nice. Well, I'm just going to play Cookie Clicker.
Yeah, I'm
Here,
kind of
but
wish I wouldn't have brought that back
load
up
it up.
because I kind
It's
of
one
want
of
to start
those
over from
things.
0 again.
And hey, Grandma asks, what's the age recommendation for Playdate? Dave, do you know?
0 through 1,000.
0 through 1,000.
If you
A
have a
joy for
baby,
all ages.
if someone is just born, you just take the PlayDate and you just set it on the child's face like
Yeah.
this. And that can be useful. And then when they're old enough to hold it, they can chew it. And then maybe when they're 4, they could play the thing. Anyway, it's a very niche video game system. You can't play Mario on it. You can't play Sonic. These are very niche games. The screen is very small. Shoot, my camera went out again. That's okay. Anyway, Nate, talk amongst yourself.
Yeah. Well, my pick of the week this week is what's the price on the Playdate, Dave?
It's $200, $199.
$199.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a
So
little spendy, but it is a very niche product.
yes, yes. Well, if you'll remember last week, Dave, I gave you the option if you would rather have me pick a small rig or a newer
And I went with small rig.
small rig, and it was my selfie stick tripod with all the features, really great device. And at the end, we were looking on Amazon, and you found the Pro because my model wasn't available on Amazon, which had the MagSafe attachment. And I said,
Right.
well, wait till next week, Dave.
Mm.
And I don't want to bore people with another tripod, another selfie stick. This is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Neewer GP19, which
Oh, that is completely
this.
different.
It
What?
is a bendable, I guess you could say selfie stick, but you can make it into a
Interesting.
tripod. You can wrap it around things, and then it has MagSafe on it. So if you have a MagSafe enabled phone, and it is a very strong connection on
Yeah,
there.
it is.
Um,
Wow.
but yeah, so this thing, it's got bendable aluminum within the thing. It does have a bonus feature, a quarter 20 in the base
Oh, nice.
of it, so you could attach that to another tripod and be able to do things. But it is it's pretty sturdy, and there's a million different features. On Amazon they show you wrapping it around a branch. But yeah, a really nice little device here. You can make a little desk stand. But yeah,
Cool.
it was newer and it was on sale. I got it for about $20. and I think it is $25 with 10% off right now on Amazon. But yeah,
Yeah, that metal is really weird because it bends so easily. It's kind of
yes,
addictive to sit there. I wonder if you could snap it in half if you bent it too much.
vented enough. What the maximum amount? I didn't read the small print, but it is 20 inches long on there
Yeah.
and weighs 8 ounces as I look through the. Oh, but you can even use it. I didn't even think of this, Dave. I'm going to put a link in the show notes so that you can hopefully
Use it
that'll.
to kill a man.
Yes. No, but you could use it around your neck, much like our other neck devices. And I've been looking on TikTok. There's some really popular devices that are
Uh,
neck mounts.
just get the
So
Meta sunglasses with the camera in there and use that. They're just sunglasses.
yeah, but then I couldn't do selfie videos like
Oh
this.
boy, that's ridiculous. Come on, camera. What's going on with my camera? So let's take a moment to talk about Hey Grandma's question in the comments, if we can. She
Yeah.
says, "What's the price?" I said $200. She says, "Maybe cost prohibitive." Well, hey Grandma, when my camera comes back on, there we go. I'm going to recommend to you, and we can talk later, something like this. This is an RG35XX. I think I got several. I think this is the 35XX. This is about $80, and it's got a bunch of retro hardware emulators on it, and you supply your own ROMs. Although the disc that comes with it, the little chip, has got like 300
Yes.
ROMs on it, and
And even there's like this one that Chelsea bought both of
yeah,
us. I believe that was for Christmas, which was
yeah.
even cheaper. You can get these around 15, $20 where it's just kind of a little Game Boy, depending on it's definitely not as fun as the PlayDate with the crank.
No,
But you could just glue a crank on the side. It wouldn't do anything. But
well, it's these devices are more appropriate for kids because you can play any games you want on them, and I even have the RG35XXH. It's the horizontal one or whatever. And like I said, they come with a ton of games. They come with the emulators. You just can play them, or you can put your own games on there. And they range from 60 to $80 or whatever. You can get them on Temu. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them on their own website. There's sites in the UK you can order them from. So they're really great. There's a couple different manufacturers. The ones that I like are from Ambernick because they're affordable and seem to work fine. So I would recommend that over the PlayDate, something from Ambernick.
Ambernick. Well, if you like either of our picks, you can head over to notpicks.com. Click through the links there. You can maybe I'll link to the Playdate or find a crank that clicker link in there to put there. But all of our picks
Yeah,
of the week.
I put the link in there.
Yeah, so we've got hundreds of picks on there that you can go through. Some affiliate links. It all helps support Not Nerd through your affiliate fees, and then
Oh,
I go.
I just
Oh,
noticed that you've got the previous winners down here.
oh yeah,
Elliot
some
S
previous
for the
winners.
rolling square and the use
Yeah,
team.
he was dominating the comments there for a while, and I haven't updated that because Chelsea won an Amazon gift card. But yeah, if you leave reviews, you can do that. Producer Todd says, "Shout out to the binder clip holding Dave's cord out of the way. Would have loved to see him put that on himself."
I took away some of the magic. I didn't realize you would see my binder clip and my big wad of cable hanging back here. As usual, I was having trouble before the show started, so it's not very tidy, and now I've messed it up. But
Yes,
well.
yeah. But we do have a Ramazon purchase looking at the anonymous reports through our Amazon affiliate link this week. And this week, somebody purchased, I'd love to know if it was you, they got 2 of these,
Yeah.
the Tub-O Towels TW90 heavy duty 10-inch by 12-inch size multi-surface cleaning wipes, 90 count per container. Visit the Tub-O Towel store.
That is a
4.7 stars
Oh,
on
towels.
55,404 ratings. 4.7 stars.
This is the type of thing that those radio programs would have fake commercials on.
Yeah.
If you need towels, buy the Tubbo towels.
Tubbo towel.
Buy Tubbo towel.
It is the #1 bestseller in commercial disposable wipes. 10,000 plus bought in the past month. $15
Wow.
for the heavy duty multi-surface cleaning wipes. Man, I might have to get Chelsea some of those for Christmas. She loves to clean.
She'll never come out of her room. She'll just be sitting there cleaning everything.
They are 100% solution soaked, durable fiber weave, extra large 10 by 12 inch size, industrial strength formula.
Look at these before and afters. This poor soul had grease marks on the edge from his dirty arms, and then he got Tubbo towels, and now look, it's clean as a baby's bottom. Look at that.
And hey, Grandma said, Nate's latest selfie stick is not for the over 60 ladies. Don't want a phone taking a photo of me that close to my face. And poor Dave, no respect.
No respect.
Yeah, look at all those cleaning.
All that clean anything.
Look, paintings.
Even Bob Ross had a tub of towels on his desk. I can see from the picture.
Wow.
Look at that. I mean, you can clean anything with Tubbo towels. Am I saying it right?
Tubbo towels.
Tubbo towels.
Yeah.
There it is, man. And it's natural environment. This is great. I kind of want those.
Yeah, so I'll have a link to those in the show notes. I always put the Ramazon purchase in there. One of these days, I'm going to do a Ramazon purchase page on NotPicks so that you could just scroll through all the amazing things people have bought on Amazon through our links to support us.
I do have a philosophical question.
Yes.
What's the difference between sanitation hand wipes, baby wipes, dude wipes, and Tubbo towels? Are they just the same thing with a different label on the front?
Well, it does say on the Tubbo towels that this is an industrial strength formula.
They can put anything they want on the label.
Use on babies.
Well,
but it says these moist towels are gentle on hands and skin. Wipes contain aloe, vitamin E, and lanolin to protect your hands and leave them clean and soft.
If it's good enough for your hands, it's good enough for your baby's bum. I mean,
they can be used for everything. So yes, it's probably all. These are larger than a baby wipe or a hand wipe or a dude wipe because these are the 10 by 12 inch, extra large. But yeah, that's a good point. It's a big industry.
I'm here to ask the important questions, Nate.
Yeah.
What is the difference? So next time on Son of a Niche,
we'll
explore
dive into the
industry that is
intricacies of wipes. Very cool. Well, thank you for everyone that joined us live on YouTube tonight to escape the election. Just go to bed now, wake up in the morning, see what happened. I'm one of those people that just sit there and stare at the coverage, and it's like you're telling me nothing, but I have to listen. Like something's magical is going to happen. Hey, Grandma in the chat, can't watch Not Nerds while laughing and drinking wine at the same time. Oh,
maybe we should start drinking wine here. Yes. You know what? We could have. This is a new idea. I know I'll push the outro button here in a moment, but maybe we need to be drinking wine while we're doing the show because one, it might make it more interesting, but two, hey, Grandma could come on and tell us about the wine that we're drinking. If she's a connoisseur.
Be our sommelier.
Yes, and maybe Chelsea could too. Isn't she kind of?
Yes, she has. I worked in the wine industry as well.
Wow.
Doth you forget? But
and here I'll just be like, it tastes like vinegar to me. I don't know.
Well. Anyway. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, ring that bell, watch us somewhere else so you can get out there and act better.
I should have did the da 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 da.